Ladies and gentlemen, we now begin with the concluding session. I invite Mr. Bilal, Senior Program Manager, HSF Pakistan, for conference wrap-up.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maru. So climate action, the topic is the complex it becomes. So it's a matter of life and death, not only for countries, but for the planet itself. So tackling this topic, this such a broad and huge topic, and then exploring the intersection of mitigation, adaptation, finance, and renewable energy. I must admit it was an ambitious effort, and I'm really glad to see that it has bore fruit. And thanks to our esteemed partner, Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, the dedicated efforts of the team, the brilliant panels, the expert from their own fields who shared their valuable insights with us, and of course, a very proactive and very responsive audience. So combined all this, I think we have managed to bring some concrete action measures as outcomes which will inform the policymakers as we move and as we prepare to discuss and further strengthen the global climate action at COP29. So just a few points about the discussions that we had here. Of course, there's a consensus among the audience, among the panelists, and at institutional level that climate change is Pakistan is a very vulnerable country to this issue. This is very much an existential challenge for us. So it must be prioritized, it must be given top priority, and it must be tackled at all levels. And of course, it's such a huge challenge, and there is a plethora of financial, administrative, institutional challenges in our way. But with collaboration, with cooperation, with stakeholder engagement, we should be able to counter it. And of course, it's not a national problem, but it's a regional and more importantly, it's a global problem. So global problems need global solution. So global cooperation, regional cooperation, it's also a crucial element of a sustainable and a lasting climate action. So it's heartening to see Pakistan's leadership in this regard when it comes to global climate action, when it comes to how Pakistan proactively takes leadership on global platforms like we have seen at COP27, COP28, and of course we hope to see at COP29. But other than that, at G77 and as head of transition committee, so it's a positive development, and that must be further built upon and further developed by our policymakers, our academia, our think tanks, and of course our members of civil society as well. So another aspect I think that we have agreed upon here is that both adaptation and mitigation are important, are crucial for a balanced and sustainable climate action, and of course for just transition. So focus should be on both these aspects. So, and of course, to back all this up, to make it lasting, to make it impactful, it's the topic of finance. So we had some really wonderful insights on climate finance, how Pakistan can finance its own initiatives, how Pakistan can secure finances from the global initiative like GCF and the Loss and Damages Fund. So on this, we have had some really interesting and some really useful insights, which we will definitely use moving forward. So and stakeholder, when it comes to stakeholder engagement, policy, of course, the lawmakers, bureaucracy, they are very important. Academia is very important, but civil society, the grassroots stakeholders who are actual the final victims of climate crisis, their voices, the marginalized communities, women's voices, children's voices, these must be taken on board. So this was another important learning. And of course, this all today's discussion feeds into how Pakistan should engage at COP29 and how can it maintain its stature as a sort of as a public and as a open voice for global south, for developing countries who are often marginalized at these global platforms. So today's discussion, I'm glad to see that they will definitely help Pakistan put up a more thought out, more well-planned strategy at the upcoming COP29. So, of course, the learnings, the concrete action measures from this conference, they will be disseminated to policymakers, to academia, so that they can be put into action as well. So, and of course, I would like to express my gratitude and appreciate our esteemed partner, ISSI, for their hard work, for their efforts, and for our long-standing and historic collaborations. As discussed in the morning, we have been partners since 1994, and this will most likely be the last public engagement of HSF in Pakistan, and I'm really glad that it was with ISSI, so we are able to wrap up our physical presence in Pakistan on a very high note. So thank you so much, Ambassador Sahab, Team ISSI, and of course to the participants. Thank you so much.